going to talk about reboots and stuff that we're looking forward to, and adaptations that we are looking forward to, and what makes a good adaptation, what makes a bad one, and like what are some of our favorites and what are some that we hate.
Oh my gosh. Can we just talk about the Hulk? What the fuck is going on? Like, the Hulk has to be, or the Incredible Hulk, that whole subsection of, yeah.
I don't know.
They,
I've only seen like didn't they come out with like two in the span of 5 years? Like they just
yeah.
kept on trying to make
Yeah.
it a thing that happened, and I was just like, I only saw the first one because my mom got like free tickets to the showing of it, and then the other ones I was just like, no. And then he was in Avengers, and that was cool, and it was like a completely different actor, I think, and I was just like, okay, what, dude, what the hell? And
Well,
you just learn to stop caring.
well, from what I understand, the only reason they had to make another Hulk movie was because I think the one before that one was done by Ang. I think it's Ang Lee. That's his name.
Yeah.
And he was like the hotness before. I don't remember the movie he did, what he did before, but he got signed on to do it because he was just again the hotness. And also, I believe he is the guy that Hulk movie is the same one that has that background musical do 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 do
Oh yeah, when
do.
he's walking away.
Right? Yes, I think that is that movie. And from I'd never seen the movie, but that's how the pop culture is wonderful. How you don't have to watch it, and yet you can get the tangible, usable shit from it in for whatever situation you need. But again, the movie was horrible, so they had to do a reboot to undo the horribleness, except for the do 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 do.
But I liked the first one.
But the bitches didn't care
Maybe
for it
it's just
though, Papa.
maybe it's just because I'm nostalgic. But I actually like that one.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
From what I've heard, that one basically had Bruce Banner's parents. They were, I guess, spies or something, and then perform experiments on their son, and that's how he became Hulk.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot confirm that. I'm just going by what I've heard and why people may have not been so keen on it.
Yeah, because okay, the original Incredible Hulk, it was a comic that they just it feels like they just kind of threw it out there. But I mean, most of the comics at the time they just kind of threw it out there and then it became a thing. The Hulk never really picked up. Like the Hulk started out as like this big gray guy, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere they decided to just color him green because he just looked better green. And the only reason why I know this is because I watch Comic Book Men on the A and the C. And just the various things that they've tried to do with the Hulk. It's become like the Hulk and the various things that they've tried to do has become just the things that you do not do when you try to reboot something.
Well, I don't know if those are reboots because, again, from what I've heard, Marvel doesn't really do reboots, and I'm using for air quotes there. Like it's a reboot, but it's not because they still maintain their continuity from stuff. I don't know. I don't touch Marvel enough to be familiar with it. I do DC and other stuff.
I don't really do DC that much. Like Batman is about as much as DC stuff that I get. I've yet to see a Superman movie.
Oh yeah, and then various things they try to do, like Batman. Usually Batman movies are awesome, but then all I can remember is the most ridiculous one that they had where
Don't.
no.
I'm bracing for
Um
impact.
No, the one where they had, or no, not the question, the Riddler. That one was the one by Tim Burton. That one was the most ridiculous, but it was awesome because it really mirrored like the old school Batman comics, where it was just ridiculous, and he made something dark, but it was just ridiculously dark, and you can really tell it's a Tim Burton movie because usually Tim Burton associates colors and and all that kind of stuff with things that are unnerving and unsettling. So that's why you had like Ivy and the Riddler, and they're really colorful characters, but they're really just it's like the reverse, because usually when people make movies, it's like, oh, these are bad guys, they're gonna be all dark and brooding and whatever. But no, with Tim Burton, it's like, oh, this is a dark and brooding guy, but he's cool because I guess that's Tim Burton's thing. Like, dark and brooding is actually a good thing, and colorful and bright and vibrant is actually unsettling and disturbing. And I actually think it's interesting, and I want Tim Burton to do another Batman movie.
Well, too bad, because Christopher Nolan basically has like all the cards there. But as far as adaptations and stuff go, because again, I guess if we're going to go with DC, I generally just stick with their animated universe. So that means your Batman animated series, Superman animated series, Static Shock, Teen Titans. I can like Young Justice as it exists, but I never really could deeply get into it. But again, that's stuff that I would watch. Justice League, if only because they showed off different areas of, or different characters of the DCU, and makes it feel complete instead of just focusing on like one character.
Yeah, that's what I felt like they did a really good job. Even in Teen Titans, like with the Animu faces and all that, they did have an episode where they made a reference to Batman, where Slade was like taunting about his father, and Robin's like, I already have a father, and it like pans up and you see all the bats flashing across the screen. Like, it's pretty awesome that they kind of had it all together, and they literally have a DC universe. But it's just, yeah, I don't know. I really couldn't get into Batman either, but it's probably because, first of all, they showed Animaniacs right before that, and my attention span at that point was like kaput. And then second of all, it wasn't really marketed to me because I was a little like 10-year-old.
I mean, I could get into Batman, but as far as Batman goes, it's one of those things where if you say that if you like anything that isn't the grim, darky, brooding Batman, then it's like, no, that there is other Batman. But one of my favorite Batmans is either the one from the Justice League or one from Brave and the Bold.
Oh yeah, the different colors of Batman. Whatever happened to Beware of the Bat?
Apparently, it's screaming because it's going to come out in July. But oh man, now that you mentioned Beware of the Bat, it's like we have to talk about it.
What is Beware of the Bat?
It's a new CGI Batman cartoon that will be coming out in the summer, I believe, in July.
Yeah, we talked about it one time.
When we were talking about Teen Titans Go. That is an adaptation. That is an adaptation that apparently did not necessarily leave people. Well, actually, it's more of a spin-off than it is an adaptation, but I'm gonna count it.
Yeah, just oh my gosh, please stop.
Where I would say this is one of the things that I say you don't really do. I can't say that I have like this forever burning passion that I wish it to go away to a dark place and slowly suffocate itself. I don't feel that horror or disappointment in my life for it.
However,
I feel that we get to talk about what I like in adaptations or something like that.
Yes.
If you're going to do an adaptation, you have to actually respect the source material. And I believe either some reboots or adaptations sometimes do not give a fuck about it. Like, I'm not saying that this one didn't necessarily do it. It just didn't do it as good as it should have. Like, the characters in the comedy don't work. And I couldn't even connect the voices with the characters themselves. And this is actually funny because I've been playing Tales of Symphonia, and the main character has the same voice as Robin from the show. And it's like, and the dude's voice is able to, it's the same voice, but I can still hear when it's so-and-so character. I can play the game, I hear that character, I watch the show, I know it's Robin, but I can't make that connection because they aren't acting the same way as the character should have acted at all.
Good voice acting. Sorry.
And when you can't even do basically that, that's not a good. You're not even getting the characters right, so the character chemistry that where your jokes would come from are non-existent. And if you're doing a comedy spinoff,
basically, look at the thing that you want to adapt. Make decisions on what you want to do with it. Do you want to do comedy? Do you want to do something sarcastic? Do you want to do something totally different? If you're going to do something totally different, do like a reversal thing, please, by all means, stay consistent. And if you're going to do comedy, please, make it actually funny. Make me laugh. But comedy is hard, though. Comedy is not an easy thing to do.
Right. But then there are good reboots. Granted, I can't really say much on it because I never watched the original, but Thunder freaking Cats. My God. It is able to, I can tell when they're doing homages. Like, I can remember, there was the episode where it was more of a filler episode, but again, it still paid homage to the actual, the makers, Rack and Bass. That's actually the people who did, the company that made the original Thundercats. And they actually had one whole episode where the two kids, they end up having this magic fun bag, and the magic words you have to say is Rankin Bass to make it work. So again, they are able to actually give respect to the source material while also expanding it and making it work for a bigger narrative.
Yeah, which is always fun and awesome. Especially, I mean, if you're going to do anything from the 80s was a crazy time, okay? You should not take anything from the 80s too seriously. But if you do, please be awesome with it. Thundercats did a good job with that. Because, I mean, if you looked at the original Thundercats, it's just like... They spent most of their budget on the opening. The opening's awesome, but after the opening, it just goes all downhill from there. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're just going on the animation. We don't know. I don't know anything about the plot and how that went down. Now, if you do, go ahead. But I know I can't say anything about the plot.
Another reboot or adaptation. Okay, The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby. Remember that book?
All I remember was in class we had to focus so much on that lady getting killed, and then her boob was apparently on the grill of the car that she got ran over by. How that happens, I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay, that's not the point of this exercise. However,
oh wow.
Yes, I know we're going to go over, but
no, The Great Gatsby. So I was reading a magazine. I think it was it Vogue? But it was talking about how they're redoing The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby movie has had 5 reboots since the book, because apparently it's a thing in Hollywood at this point where, someone else is trying to reboot The Great Gatsby. And this next one is actually going to star, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio. And I'm not really sure. The book, I didn't have the option to read the book. And it's definitely an adaptation, but I just think it's interesting that it's been adapted 5 times. So I would highly suggest, because Leonardo DiCaprio is an otaku, or I wouldn't say an otaku. Otaku's actually a negative term.
Weebo.
That's actually a negative term, too.
The pedophile.
That's even worse.
I'm trying.
I do recall that he wanted to do something for, what's that anime?
Kira.
Yeah. He wanted to do something for Kira. I don't know if that ever came through, what happened with that. I kind of want to look that up. That's actually another adaptation, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we could get many people who could tell you why it's wrong, and I probably would agree with them. But that's... Keep going.
But yeah, it's just it's interesting that this movie or this book has been adapted like 5 times. But The Great Gatsby is like It's basically about the Roaring Twenties in the U.S. and this character and his life. And fortunately, I didn't get a chance to read the book. But I mean, just because it was about the 1920s, yeah, and the glory days of the Roaring, the Roaring Twenties in the U.S. and
Oh my
America.
gosh, you need to go read Great Gatsby. That
Yeah,
is
it's an
like a
awesome book.
must read.
It's an awesome book. It's an awesome time, and clearly there are a lot of reasons why everyone's been trying to reboot it. Like this is a fifth or sixth time.
It is a really good book and movie. I can't remember the first movie that I saw in class. I can't wait for this adaptation. I really want to go see it because I'm really excited for it.
Really excited for what?
The Great
I'm really
Gatsby
excited
movie.
for the Great Gatsby movie.
Oh, hey, I know someone has Sailor Moon feels.
Do you guys want to hear my list of things I want in the Sailor Moon anime?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay, the anime to be faithful to the original works with necessary padding and pacing. That's it, basically. And when it gets translated to English, for the names to remain the same as the Japanese, so they can cut down on confusion. Let the Starlights be cross-dressers. Let Uranus and Neptune be lesbian lovers. Let Saturn call Uranus Papa. And that's basically it.
Basically, make sure the manga is the same. The anime is like the manga.
Yes.
except for, actually, never mind. I'm thinking of the Tokyo Pop one. At least for the inners, they use the English ones because I think in the Tokyo Pop one, since that one came out before the dub of S and Super S, they didn't change the names.
You want to take us out, Papa?
Okay. Well, this is Canon, and we are signing off now. Have a nice rest of the month.
Wow, good job.